I'm going to show how we're going to convert MarkLogic's XML database document to a set of triples and store it into AllegroGraph. I'm going to use a sample XML document that I have stored in this demo database. I'm going to pull a list of documents available here. And I have a sample document, sample1.xml. Here's the content of this document. It's a straightforward document with elements 2 from heading and a body. And I'm going to convert this document based on the pattern of this overall document URL is going to be the unique URI for the new set of triples. And I'm going to convert each of the nodes under the node element into a predicate. And I'm going to store the textual value of that element text value into the actual literal of a predicate of a triple. So I'm going to now show you our triple store. The triple store is actually empty right now, and we don't have any triples here, so you can view the statements. And I'm also going to show you the URL for the web service that's going to be available from MarkLogic to access this document. So each one of the documents is exposed as a URL as a REST service, and I can actually access it here in the browser. So I'm just going to make a request for this document, and it's here on my local MarkLogic server, and we can look at the actual XML of this document. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use now Mule to access this URL of this document, pull this XML document, and based on our rules, we're going to convert that into a set of triples. So I'm going to keep it open here for reference. So Mule is a ESB / service development environment that we're going to use to create a service and endpoint that's going to run this flow that will access MarkLogic, pull the contents of this XML document, use the contents of this document to run through our XML to triples mapper, and it's going to generate a set of triples formatted in n-triple format, and then we're going to store this into our database. And this also, this whole flow is exposed as a service, as an endpoint. So the way I will trigger this flow is basically making a request to this service. Again, I'm just going to use a browser to trigger it, but you can use any software to or any scheduler to trigger the service. So the couple steps that we can see here is, again, we're accessing a MarkLogic server to this HTTP request object, and I'm calling my MarkLogic server and call this one document. I'm just issuing a simple GET request. So this should give us the content of this XML document. Then I'm taking the content of this document and I'm running it against our parser. And again, the parser is using our default transformation, which maps the elements of the node document into predicates with literal values representing all of the text files. So we have a set of triples that are formatted in a n-triple, and then we're going to use our AllegroGraph connector to actually persist the set of triples to the database. So I'm going to now start this whole flow. So this whole flow is going to run as an endpoint again. It's going to be available, and we can see that it's starting here. And now basically what's happening is this is running as a service, and I'm going to trigger this service to a browser. This is the easiest way for me to demo it at this point. And as I'm executing this service, what's happening is Mule is receiving a request on the endpoint. The next thing it's doing is calling MarkLogic and requesting the sample1 XML document. Then I'm serializing this document into an object and ultimately to an XML string. And I'm using then that string as an input to our parser. Now each of these activities can be persisted or could be queued up. So that way this service may operate at a higher volume. But for demo purposes, I'm just showing it as just one single in-memory process. So ultimately, as this runs all the way to persisting the triples, we should now see some log entries that show how this has been processed. And we can see here's our document coming in. We have our input document. then the document is being parsed, mapped, and here our resolved triples. And we see we have a few triples here, and we see also that the triples have been persisted successfully. So now I should be able to go back to my AllegroGraph web view interface and execute the query again. And there we go. We can see the resulting set of triples. And here's our node document, again, with the node URI assigned based on the unique identification for this node. And we have the few triples here, from, to, heading, and a body. And we can also visualize the same data in the graph. We can see the graph for this particular node. And this concludes the transformation. So again, we took a set of documents accessible through the MarkLogic REST interface. We called those documents, run those through the transformation, and persisted the resulting triples into AllegroGraph.